Good morning, I'm down at the studio setting up for my shoot today. It's a film noir, Hollywood glamour style shoot with model Paula. Let me just get all the backgrounds and lights in place and I'll talk to you a little bit later. So that didn't take long. Just a quick overview of this first lighting setup that I'm doing today. I'm going to concentrate mainly on Hollywood glamour for this first set, and traditionally Hollywood glamour would be done with a Fresnel lens, which it gives that lovely sort of shadowy look. I haven't got one, so what I'm using instead is this, which is a beauty dish, but hopefully you can see it. I've put the grid on there instead, and what that will do is the grid will channel the light. It doesn't focus light, but it restricts the light to the right sort of direction, and it gives an effect that's actually quite similar to the classic Hollywood glamour look. Now, what about the other lights? Well, all the way over here I've got a hair light, a rim light, which will come in and just give some separation here on this side of Paula, our model, and the other light is a background light. Now, I may not use the background light, and if I do, I'll want it on a really, really low power. I've put the purple background up because I'm aiming to throw it to almost black, but just leave that little hint of colour in there for the colour images. A lot of what I'm going to do, because it's Hollywood glamour, it's going to be black and white anyway, but having the option with the background light just to create a little pool of lightness on the background will add some extra interest to the shoot. So that's the first setup. All I need now is a model. My model for today has arrived, and would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Paula.
Nice to meet you, Paula. It's the first time we've worked together. I'm really looking forward to the shoot today. We're going to be doing, as I said earlier, Hollywood glamour, film noir type thing. So how long have you been modelling?
About 2 years.
About 2 years. You enjoying it?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
But it's not just modelling you do?
No, I do a little bit burlesque and a little bit of amateur dramatics.
Ah, right.
Musicals, plays. Great.
So, have you got any plays lined up at the moment?
Currently in panto.
Oh, no, you're not. Sorry, couldn't resist. On that, what are you playing?
I am playing a debt collector in Jack and the Beanstalk.
Oh, right. And where's it on? Where can people come and see you?
That is in Whitworth. In Rochdale.
In Rochdale, right.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so this particular shoot was in response to a casting call that you put up,
yep.
And you were asking for film noir type stuff. So what sort of things have you got in mind for it?
So I'm thinking anything slightly dark, a little bit edgy, but very glamorous.
Dark, glamorous, edgy. I think we can manage that. During the shoot, I paused a couple of times. You probably didn't notice it on the time lapse, to create what I call setup shots in the studio. And I just want to mention those as we're passing. What they are shots to enable me to know exactly what lighting I did with a particular setup. And the way I do it, I make one change to the camera. Normally it's f8, it's 125th of a second and ISO 100. I just change the shutter speed to 1/10 of a second on the camera, and then do a wide angle shot, which means that I'm capturing the ambient light, but there's sufficient flash going off to freeze our subject, to freeze Paula on there, so I can actually see the effect of the lights, but I can see where the lights are as well. So this is a typical setup shot. Right, so we've moved on to our second set now, and for this one, some of it is similar to the previous setup that I showed you, but what we've introduced the Venetian blind over here, and hopefully you can just about see it on camera. Behind there is a speed light. Now, why do I use a speed light rather than the studio lights? Well, the studio lights have a fairly large light source, which means the shadow from the blind would be very soft, practically indistinguishable. With this, you can actually see it a lot better from a speed light because the light source is very, very small. So that was the first thing I set up, was to put that onto the background, did a test shot, make sure you could see the lines of the blinds on the background. Next, I've added in, or changed the modifier over here. Instead of using the beauty dish, I've now got this strip light. It's got a grid on it, as you can see there, hopefully, just about. And again, the grid just restricts the light so that Paula is lit from one direction instead of the light spreading out. And then finally, over in the back, I've added a hair light or rim light on there, just to add a little bit of separation from the background. And let's face it, if you know my photography, I like rim lighting, so I've put that in there as well. So all those together should create this film noir style look. Now, one other thing just to comment about is the colour palette on this. I'd already decided on using the purple background because I can do a lot with that. But Paula told me that you've got a purple dress, so I asked Paula to change into the purple dress because I'm a big fan of shooting similar colours with the background. So if somebody turns up at the studio dressed in white, I'll shoot them on white, in black on the black background, in purple on my purple background. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to create a range of shots here, black and white for the film noir look, but also I think the adding in the colour versions, purple on purple, will work nicely as well. Yeah, we've changed the lighting setup a little bit for the last part of this set. We've introduced the stool, which means obviously I need to lower the lights. But what I've done with it is we've used the strip light now as our rim lighting on here. The light through the blind has become effectively our key light on there, and so having moved Paula back so that she can be illuminated by it, we've got this nice set of lines from the Venetian blind, those shadows going over her. Now, one tip if you're using this, ask your subject to look through to where the light is from where they are. If they can see the light rather than have the blind, one of the slats of the blind over it, if the slat of the blind is over it from their perspective, you're going to get a shadow across the eyes, which is not what we want. The final light over there, which was a rim light, I've repositioned it slightly and moved it a little bit high. I just wanted a bit of extra light on the top of the hat on there. So I think it's about time we moved on to another setup. What do you fancy shooting next?
Whatever you think.
Oh, the get out of jail free card, isn't it? Right. How about you say you've got some lingerie? Mm-hmm. Okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll have you probably looking through the blind on that. Okay, so we're back with a new setup, and this is again, we're keeping the Hollywood glamour film noir sort of feel, but this time it's a lingerie shot. Now, what we've changed with the blinds on this is I've got Paula close to the blinds and looking through. I've moved the speed light round so it's pointing straight at her, and we're after this sort of really quite a distinct shadow look across the face. Now, again, it's important that if you're shooting this style, that you get your subject to look through the blinds towards the flash, so that you don't get the shadow across the eyes. Now, the other light is the strip light here, gridded strip light. I've moved it round. Again, it's still acting as this rim light. It's just providing a little bit of light on the hair and to bring out the detail of the fur coat. So, with all that in play, I'm going to grab my camera and we're going to make some shots. Okay, I've got to redo the ending on this. Unfortunately, someone left the camera in the wrong mode, and instead of recording the video, I recorded a time lapse of me doing the final video. I want to say thanks to Paula for all her work on the shoot, and thank you for letting me video the shoot as well. I hope you as the viewers found the video helpful. Maybe the lighting setups that you've seen here are ones you can replicate with your own studio photography. If you do, please share your photos in my Facebook group, linked down below. And until next time, thanks for watching. Keep making great photos. And I'm left with the Jack Daniels. It's cold tea, by the way. I don't drink, certainly not whiskey, don't like whiskey. Come to that, I don't like cold tea either. Bye.